Topic of the day. Check your ego at the door. One of the biggest problems I find with new lifters is they try to lift too much for what they're ready for.
It's not just new lifters, though. There's a lot of people that have been going to the gym for a substantial amount of time, and they still don't know how to check the ego at the door.
Everybody wants to lift heavy. That doesn't mean they're ready for it.
Skylar, if I say check your ego at the door, what does that mean?
When I was little, when everybody talked about egos on like Dragon Ball Z, I thought it was that weird hashtag that was on their head. What we mean by check your ego at the door is don't look at somebody else, see how much weight they're lifting, get all emasculated, and decide that you need to lift just as much as them. Odds are they've been lifting longer than you have, they've been training harder than you have, or they just have better genetics than you.
I'm going to say this. I don't care if they've been training longer than you or training harder than you or genetics. Screw that. This is what's important. If you're trying to get your chest to grow, or if you're trying to get your arms to grow, if you're trying to get your legs to grow, you're trying to improve a body part, you need to push yourself. You need to lift with a heavy enough weight to where you're actually going to break down the muscle tissue, and you want to stimulate hypertrophy. You want muscle growth. However,
somebody else's proper weight isn't the proper weight for you necessarily.
If you're curling 120 pounds, your hips are moving forward and you're swinging the bar around and your elbows hurt a lot and you feel it in your lower back, but you're just proud to do that 120 pounds just for the sake of doing so, you're doing it wrong.
You're trying to bench an outrageous amount of weight and you can't get it for nice bloop.
Nobody cares if
I wanted to say this. For instance, Nate and I were doing decline bench press. He was doing a certain amount of weight. I tried to use my ego and lift the same amount. I went down in weight so I could get the proper contraction of the muscle and stimulate proper hypertrophy.
Nobody cares if you can deadlift 600 pounds if your back looks like this when you're doing it. If you're trying to get your chest to grow, if you're trying to get your legs to grow, your arms, use proper form, use a lighter weight, focus on contraction.
If you're looking at somebody in the gym and they're benching, and you guys are both doing bench, and they're benching this outrageous amount of weight with proper form, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, all right, they're lifting this amount of weight, I need to lift the same, you're thinking about their results, not yours.
This actually goes beyond just people in your gym. If you're looking at magazines or watching videos of pros, and you're thinking, oh, well, shit, he's curling that much, I have to curl that much. No. These guys have been doing it for a long time.
And it's their full-time job.
And there's other factors too. Where's my applesauce?
You left it downstairs. Damn it! There's no room for an ego in the gym. If you have too big of an ego, your results are gonna suffer.
I think there is room for ego in the gym to some extent. When I have a pump and I feel fucking untouchable, I feel great, and I take the hoodie off, that's a good feeling. Got some size, got some definition, and yeah, a little bit of ego kicks in, makes me feel good. However, I'm not afraid to do tricep extensions really light and just really focusing on the contraction, trying to think about, the horseshoe.
The only person in the gym that you need to be better than is
yourself! I'm on top of the world. Hey, I found the helicopter again.
The only person in the gym that you need to compete with is yourself. The people that you see in the gym.
I like the quote, be the hardest working person in the gym.
Doesn't mean you need to compare yourself to the biggest guy in the gym. It's not bad to want to get to that point.
It's okay to have some ego. Don't let it be detrimental to your lifting. Don't let it be detrimental to your progress.
Final thoughts, go.
My final thought is, I'm a bodybuilder. I care more about
hypertrophy,
stimulating muscle growth, and building a certain aesthetic. Less important to me is the poundages I'm actually moving. More important to me is the stimulation and the contraction I feel, making a nice connection, mind-muscle connection. Granted, this doesn't mean using baby weight every time you go in and expecting to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's okay to lift heavy, just don't lift too heavy for where you're currently at.
Now I'm going to say, it's okay to, what would you say? Too heavy for where you're at. For where you're at.
Keep proper form.
Keep proper form.
And technique.
And technique. Period.
Gains.
Period. Guys, it's okay to lift heavy for where you're at with proper form. Proper form and proper technique is what matters above all.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Gains is what matters.
Gains, gains, gains. That's a fly.